Ow. What's up, everyone? Punchy back with Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3 to Higurashi. Last time we were being intimidated heavily by Oishi-san because we told him to go away because he was looking for Satoko. But this Punchy does not know him yet, but he already had a bad feeling, which I'm glad Punchy is trying to pick up on these things like a lot earlier than usual. That like Oishi, he's not a good man. We know he's not a good man. But like at the same time, he does want to solve things, so don't know. Anyway, he was crushing our shoulder, like trying to intimidate us, and we are saved by Coach, who just came up behind us. Behind Oishi-san, someone, to my disbelief, it was Coach. Oh my. If it isn't Dr. Ire. It certainly has been a while since we were last in touch. Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Oishi laughed scornfully. The vice on my shoulder, however, remained as strong as ever. Never mind the greetings. Please, just let go of Mirabara-kun. Oishi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course. I was just thinking of stopping by your place later, Doctor. You always seem so busy, and we could never have a good chat. Yes, if you want, I'll chat with you all you like, but please be sure to have a warrant first. After all, otherwise, I can refuse to go voluntarily into questioning. Coach didn't display a shred of weird behavior he'd shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He stared steadily at Oishi and fought so that he would release me. His chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Oishi, Coach seemed like he was being defeated mentally. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stature, but Oishi's body was packed with muscles. It wasn't even a contest. But Coach was fighting for me without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face, and though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Suddenly, Oishi laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell right on my backside. Mirabara-kun, are you alright? Ugh, damn it. Ow. I rubbed my shoulders where Oishi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering. Are you alright, Mirabara-kun? This is terrible. Shit. Ow. Ow. I was just giving him a little massage. Mirabara-san, aren't you over-exaggerating a bit? Boys have got to learn to man up. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty. Can you lift your shoulders? Are they in pain? If you're really hurt, then you should have a proper checkup. Let's just go to the nurse's office. Coach led me a shoulder and walked beside me. What an exaggeration. I'd be the last person to do any sort of permanent damage, right? I'm still an active police officer, you know. Come. I don't know what you have needed. Come. I don't know what you needed to be here for, but if you're finished, then please leave. I'm going to complain about this directly to the chief, so please keep that in mind. Oh, that's a problem, ain't it? Ugh. His crooked cop is really showing right now. Oishi-san waved his hand sarcastically, pivoting around and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who the hell was he? Damn it. He's a detective named Kurado Oishi, and a hooligan. Everyone in the village hates him. Mirabara-san, you should be careful too. Kurado Oishi. Just like I thought, my gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one to bring unhappiness, misfortune, something that would ruin our peace. You know, This is what I wanted, like, for Punchy-san. Like, I wanted Punchy-san to be in this situation in chapter 1, like I said in earlier videos, where he would be, like, he's in the community now. They'll protect him as long as, he doesn't talk too much about Satoshi, but neither can anyone else. So he's in the same situation as a lot of just regular members of the village. At the same time, it's not really a place where you want to be. You know what I mean? Anyway, shit, I won't accept it. All these fun days, I can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. Our teacher and the principal, having noticed the disturbance, came to see what was the matter. Mirabara-kun, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Well, there was this weird man in the schoolyard just now, and Mirabara-san. Coach gently interrupted the girls trying to explain. No, it looks like he just fell and twisted something. I think he's alright, but I wanted to make sure. If it's fine with you, I'll borrow the nurse's office for a bit. Please do, Dr. Ari. The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like the coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He didn't want the girls to say anything. That's interesting. He slid open the door to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I'd figured. I'd never seen anyone but Chi-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse and quickly made his way to the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hands in the sink. He's a doctor. I think he'll be okay. Oh, I get it. He's the coach from the boys' baseball team. He must be pretty used to treating wounds with first aid. Could you show me where it was? Are you still in pain? No, it doesn't hurt at all anymore. I'm fine, really. I rolled up my shirt and showed him my shoulder. No bruise, not even nail marks. And yet it had hurt so much I thought my shoulders would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurt so much, but there isn't a single bruise. It just means he's used to doing that. Used to it, huh? Next time you meet, don't provoke him. Nothing good will come of making him angry. If you go home with a uniformed policeman by your side, your family won't like that, will they? Well, you're right. Still, what happened? Why did you end up in a fight with him? He came up and said he needed something from Satoko. Huh? Satoko-chan? Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow, that gesture seemed to be saying Oishi was bound to come to Satoko and did, and that it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly, he took a compress out of the first aid kit and put it on me. Does he still plan on clinging to Satoko-chan? He's a persistent man, I'll give him that, like a snake. Coach mumbled to himself. Cling? Does that Oishi guy go to Satoko's place a lot? It's a creepy picture with a... I mean, if we didn't know him already, he'd seem pretty creepy, but... Coach didn't answer, but the lack of a denial served well enough. What on earth did the policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satoko? What mistake had led a detective to cling to the sweetly smiling Satoko? Mirabara-san. Oh, right. You just moved here, didn't you? Yes, I did, but... Have you heard anything about Oyashiro-sama's curse and about Satoko-chan? Well, yes I do. Well, I knew a few things about it, certainly. Satoko's parents were damn proponents, and their accidental death was because of the curse. You mean that? Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. If I recalled correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family and her parents died. And then it was just big brother and little sister. And then she was with Rika-chan and... When they lost their parents, Satoko-chan and her brother, Satoshi-kun, were given to their uncle and his wife to care for them. Oh, is that so? The parents died in the accident and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satoko to start living with Rika-chan. I'd known that much, but this was the first time I'd heard they'd been brought to their uncle and aunt. Their uncle was Satoko-chan's father's younger brother. Unfortunately, neither of the couple were people deserving of respect. Coach normally picked his words politely, so when he came out and said they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were. As soon as Satoko-chan's parents came out in support of the dam, their uncle and aunt took on a lot of shame in the village as well. They would never have welcomed Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun. I've heard that for the siblings, it was a very rough life. Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous agonies the Hojo siblings had suffered to their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satoko and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable both for their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there was no end to their fighting. And, as if in revenge for that, whenever they saw Satoko or Satoshi's face, they would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away meals as punishment. I still shudder to think about it. You've never known any Satoko but the energetic and healthy one now, so you probably couldn't imagine her face being so deathly pale, a girl always standing dazed in the shade of trees. I couldn't imagine it, and I didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satoko wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it was different now. Something happened to change that life. Last year, on the night of the Watanagashi festival, their aunt died. She was beaten to death with a baseball bat by a drug addict. Rumors spread of the curse having killed an enemy of the village on the night of the festival. This death wasn't a simple homicide either. They whispered that it was actually Oishiro-sama's curse. A few days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offenses, and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Oishiro-sama's curse was true or not. Their uncle is part of Hinamazawa, after all. He apparently grew incredibly frightened of Oishiro-sama's curse and went into hiding. From what I've heard, he stayed with a lover somewhere in Okinomiya. And Satoko and Satoshi, were they released? Their aunt died, and their uncle fled. There was nobody left to torment the siblings then, but as if picking up their torch, that man started showing up with alarming tenacity. That man? Then Coach lowered his voice just a bit as if being aware of his surroundings. I mean Oishi. Oishi. The guy from before. The events that had just occurred came back to me. The hard-to-describe ominous sensation I'd felt from him came back to me. He's a little strange. The chain of incidents surrounding Oishiro-sama's curse have been all solved, yet he alone doesn't want to accept that. Accept it? The incidents were all solved, and a detective supposedly with the police department didn't accept that? People say that something bad will surely happen to those he gets close to. In Hinamazawa, they think Oishi is Oishiro-sama's... Punchy-chan! The door flew open with a rattle, and Mian came rushing in. Ren and Rika-chan came running in a few steps behind her, and then Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and a few more of our classmates. Punchy-chan, did Oishi do something to you? Are you hurt? Calm down, Mian-san. He's not injured. I only gave him a compress just in case. Punchy-kun, are you really okay? Okay? Everyone was saying stuff about how you're being strangled. Calm down, Rena. He just squeezes my shoulders really hard. See? There's not even a bruise. Meep. Jeez, what the heck were you all doing? We're friends, right? Or are we just standing around? Why didn't you help Punchy-chan? We're sorry, President. Mian yelled at our classmates, baring her fangs. Tomita-kun and the others hung their heads in silence. Quit it, Mian. Tomita-kun and the others weren't even there. Stop blaming them. Damn it. Oishi. Mian kicked the floor with her heel a few times, her temper running hot. Our teacher, overhearing the commotion, arrived as well. Hey, come on, everyone. Don't make so much noise in the nurse's office. President, take everyone and leave, please. Come on, everyone. Let's get going. Punchy-kun is fine. You too, Mi-chan. Mian was letting her emotions get the best of her, so Rena stepped in instead and led everyone out of the nurse's office. The detective from Okinomiya Station, Corrado Oishi. It looked like the first impression I'd gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Stoko's absence had amplified the vague apprehensions I'd felt since yesterday. And Oishi's appearance basically sealed the deal. Alright. I'll get going. I originally came here for Chi-sensei. Ah, so you had something to do here. Sorry for causing you trouble. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily. There was a side benefit to all this. I was lucky enough to experience so much of your soft, silky skin, Miyabara-kun. Hafu. With the usual, for Coach anyway, parting words, he instead continued. Please excuse me. You weren't wounded badly, but please avoid putting pressure on your shoulders or anything along those lines. If you get a high fever or it starts to swell, contact me right away, okay? I don't think it'll happen, though. Oh, that's right, Coach. Before everyone came in, you were going to say something about what people think Oishi is to Oyashiro-sama. As he was about to leave the nurse's office, Coach placed a hand on the door and stopped. Right. You think he's Oyashiro-sama's servant. Huh. When he talked with us, he said that he didn't believe that it was, that it was just the people. He didn't believe it. He believed that it was like the people, I guess, doing it, like the S group, the Sonozaki group, that they were the ones doing it, and he wanted to catch them. But it's interesting how actually on the inside, people thought that he's the servant. It's really like this is exactly the view, like I keep saying it, but this is the view exactly that I wanted, and now it's interesting to see everything on the other side. They're just bad-mouthing him, though. Oyashiro-sama's servant? Do you know about the serial freak death incidents that occur in Hinamizawa every year on the night of the Watanagashi festival, otherwise known as Oyashiro-sama's curse? What? Freak deaths? What? Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mian or someone in class talking about it like a ghost story. On the festival day in June, one person would always die, and another person would be spirited away, but they seemed to call it demoning away here. What a fine story that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true? I don't have any idea who first suggested this, but at some point, everyone started calling Oishi Oyashiro-sama's servant. Why? Because the rumors go that he decides the sacrifices for the curse every year. Whenever June came around, Oishi started paying frequent visits to Hinamizawa. Because Oishi has been persistently questioning most of the dead or disappeared people. 4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment, rumored to be the sacrifice, had been seeing Oishi numerous times leading up to the incident. The sacrifices 3 years ago were Satoku's parents. Right before their accidental deaths, Oishi had apparently visited their home. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Rika-chan's mother. And again, people know that before she vanished, Oishi had been talking to her extremely frequently. Well, I think we know a little bit more on the other side of what he was probably talking to him about. The one who disappeared last year, Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Satoshi too had apparently been approached by Oishi many times before he vanished. And then this year, this time Oishi was trying to contact Satoko. This isn't a freaking joke? The rumors, Mirabara-san, they're just some rumors to that effect. I hadn't said that because of the rumors of Oishi being Oishiro-sama's servant, or his contacting someone foreshadowing who would be the sacrifice that year. It was because of the ominous hatred I felt towards Oishi was becoming more substantiated, more real. Today, Satoko, she was absent, wasn't she? Wait, really? That looked like news to Coach. I thought he might have known why Satoko was absent today, but... Then I'll get going. You should go back to the others and put their minds at ease. You're right. I will. Clatter. Coach left the nurse's office and headed back towards the teacher's lounge. Oof. Jeez. Like, I didn't expect it all to be coming at once. All this drama. I think this is a good time to stop right there after, you know what? Let's do this. Better left untold, the achievement. What was it about, though? Anyway, here's some research notes. The Hoju family. Every year, Oishiro-sama's curse claims 2 victims. This means that with 4 years in a row, there have been 8 now, but it's worthwhile to note that half of them have been members of this family. Note, the curse on the 2nd year, a certain falling accident involved the death of Hoju, a dam proponent, and the disappearance of his wife. She was pronounced dead the following year after being considered to have vanished under perilous circumstances. The curse on the 4th year involved the death of the Hoju siblings' aunt, who was then their foster mother, and the disappearance of the elder brother. The Hoju family is a poor one. It's hard to say. Mr. Hoju's job went very well. Apparently, upon re-employment via family connections, there was a plan for them to return to the home of the mother's side of the family. For Mr. Hoju, the eviction due to the Higurashi Dam project was the payment of a large amount of compensation money was essentially a windfall. Mr. Hoju aggressively accepted the ministry's construction negotiations from an early stage and selected others from Higurashi who were also dam proponents. It is rumored that he had been bought out by the Ministry of Construction for doing so, but the truth is unknown. However, the dam proponent were in vastly outnumbered minority. In addition, as the Sonozaki family strengthened its own foundation and promised support against the dam, all of the proponents save from Mr. Hoju switched over to the anti-dam side. At this point, Higurashi was completely united against the dam, and Mr. Hoju was held up to ridicule as a stooge of the dam project's proponents. He was, essentially, used as a scapegoat for the anti-dam coalition. In the end, the dam project collapsed with Oishiro-sama's curse and the dismemberment incident. However, punishment seems towards the bitter enemies supporting the dam project continues to this day. There are not many left today who supported the dam project, nor had a negative reputation at the time. If there were any candidates left for the curse, it's the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year, Teppei Hoju. So that's the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year, okay. Mr. Hoju's daughter, Satoko Hoju. Strangely, those two are the only candidates left. Will this year's curse come down on the 2 of them? There's more than enough value in observing them both. That's gotta be from... Research thing's gotta be from, good old Takano-san. Now we've got Oishi's post memo. To Oishi-san. There was a call for you from Section 4 Chief Shigeharu. Apparently, the slaughtered course in Ojikawa River is related to the S group, as we thought. We're still verifying what happened behind the scenes, but apparently the deceased filled up dozens of self-created fictional bank accounts to their limits with the money from the S group, reaching about 100 million yen. It appears there were 3 or 4 men with the former S group connections involved in this. They've already disappeared along with millions of yen. The deceased was tortured to the point on that point for information, and she was clearly slaughtered as an example to others. There are apparently some real wizards chasing down people who disappeared. They're also spreading letters to related Yakuza groups, not to harbor them. There's still no evidence that Teppei Hoju is one of those people. From what Chief Shigeharu has seen, nothing has been announced. For such a dependent, the man wasn't trusted at all. Teppei Hoju left his apartment in Okinomiya and has returned to his former residence in Hinamazawa. So there's some news about the connection of the dead body in the beginning with, I guess, Tsutoko's uncle. Oh jeez, so much is happening. Punchy's being really informed though. I'm enjoying this side of it, where we can hear what's going on from the inside of the village instead of being outed as an outsider, which is fantastic. Anyway, alright, thanks for watching guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.